All right, replay viewers, welcome. We're watching the NFC Championship here with Peripreneurs. Yes, indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. I'm going to invite all my followers over here as well. What is going on this Sunday? What is going on? Falcons just scored a touchdown. Welcome. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for tuning in for a little while. I promised we were going to be really quick. You better believe this is going to be the fastest one that's ever happened on this channel, okay? I promise this is going to be quick. I'm going to let you get back to the football games. I'm going to let you get back to your families, your fitness, whatever you're doing on this Sunday. So, first of all, for those of you that don't know, my name is Matt LaMarche. I live here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have two businesses currently here in Atlanta. The first one is called LaMarche Landscaping. Thank you for all those shares. Thank you for all these hearts. I appreciate it. Hopefully my army is here just tapping up that screen. But what's going on, lawn men? So, LaMarche Landscaping, Atlanta Aeration is my newest business. I just started that one here in the last 6 months or so. It's a very seasonal business, so I wanted to build up the foundation to execute in the next couple of months here. So, Atlanta Aeration is about 6 months old. LaMarche Landscaping, we've been now in business for about 18 months and had an incredible first year, but mostly because I planned and then I executed. We're going to get back into that. Jamie, what's going on? How are you? Gritches, what's up? So, 1.5 in LaMarche Landscaping, 6 months now in Atlanta Aeration. I'm looking for that third business in 2017 to invest in. So if you know anyone in the Atlanta area that I can meet face to face, I would love to send them my way. The next question here that I have for you guys, how are you guys doing on this Sunday? Is everyone watching football right now? I hope I'm not interrupting. We're going to bring you some energy. We're going to bring all of these questions down very quickly. So one thing that you guys do not know about me, and this is true of all people except for my wife and a lot of my really close friends from high school and middle school, I was a nerd. I was a band nerd in high school and in middle school. And I got made fun of, and I was nerdy. And then my senior year, I was like the supreme nerd. I was the drum major of our marching band. I know. I was the biggest nerd in high school and in middle school and got made fun of all of the time. All of the time. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? That's at least my take on it. That's right, Lord of the Nerds, man. Lord of the Nerds. The wackiest business idea, actually. And this one started out really wacky because I'm a car guy, as you can kind of see. I mean, this is the man cave we got you guys down in here watching the football. We got Porsches all over the place. I mean, this is where I do my scoping from, right? The wackiest business idea I've ever had was a daily different car. So in other words, you pay $300, $400, $500 right now a month for your car. To my business, my wacky business, you pay $1,000 a month, except every day you have a different car to drive. Wouldn't that be fantastic? You would get to try out 30 different cars in a month. That's insanity. Like, that would be, yes, you got the name right there. Somebody screenshot that and send that to me. Different car, 360. We can call it 365 car something. Anyway, that's my wackiest business idea. I think it's a fantastic one. It's still kind of crazy because I don't know if a lot of people would, actually do it, but I think it's a great idea. Nevertheless, if entrepreneurship was a dish, what 3 key ingredients would you have? Hustle, adjustment, and execution. And that one is the most important one because we can talk about this stuff until we're blue in the face. And I can talk a lot and I can talk fast. But if we don't go out and execute, guys, it doesn't mean a thing. And so with the first one, hustle, what I mean by hustle is smart hustle, right? Finding out what you're good at, having some self-awareness. Ricky I was on the Ask Gary Vee show talking about self-awareness. And that's one thing I'm really interested in because people don't understand what they're good at. And in fact, what we tend to accentuate in this world is what you're terrible at. And that is the reverse of what we should be doing and building each other up and building new entrepreneur building up new entrepreneurs, building up the entrepreneur and small business world. I mean, anyway, I'm not going to go off on that tangent. I told you I was going to be fast. So if I were out cold calling and someone was trying to get my attention, they would tell me, or they would ask me one simple thing: what is the biggest problem you have, and what can I do to solve it, or what can I do to help you with it? That's it. Right now, time is my problem. Managing time is my problem. Not that I don't manage my time, just trying to get more into it is my biggest issue. That's right, clarity is gold dust. So if you're out cold calling me, you call me and you say, how can I solve your biggest problem? And what is that problem, by the way? How do I approach sales, or what is my own approach on sales? Value add. That is a Porsche right there. That's a GT2 RS. That's one of the baddest ones ever made. Go look it up. Google Porsche GT3 or GT2 RS. GT3s are the newer ones, but we can talk Porsches next time for sure. So value add in sales. What I mean by value add is that you give and 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 you give, and then you ask. That's what I'm doing with this business right here. Atlanta Aeration is all about the next level of business, of lawn care, of turf care, and 210. Ricky may know, 210 or 212, 226, something like that. It was the one with Simon Sinek, which is I'm another huge, big fan of his. So it was really cool to kind of be on there. But anyway, adding value in your business, because other guys that are out doing landscaping, doing lawn care, building retaining walls, they aren't adding value. They're just there to do a job. They don't educate you. They don't inform you on what they're doing, why they're doing it. And what I have seen, and one of the big reasons I've been really successful over the last 18 months with my first business, was because I understood that. I came from corporate America, where we sold on value. As soon as the customer started talking about price, we were out the door. We didn't even listen anymore, because that wasn't our value proposition. So our value proposition was to add value, was to give more than we took. And so that's my approach on sales. The next one, if I were hiring, what would be the three big turnoffs? Number one, there is a very fine line between cockiness and confidence. Cocky is not having the results to back it up. Confidence is knowing your numbers, delivering on those numbers, providing the results, and bringing it home every single time. I like guys that go out, they kill it, they drag it home. Any of you Dave Ramsey fans out there? So, number two would be lack of eye contact. If I'm interviewing you and you aren't looking me right in the eyes, I mean for the 90 minutes or for the 9 minutes you're in front of me, game over. I want my customers to be able to trust you. I want to be able to trust you. And lack of eye contact is a huge problem, especially in this world where we're doing this all the time. I mean, so that's number two. Number three is unwillingness to learn or grow. Plain, pure, and simple. If you aren't willing to educate yourself, better yourself, there is no room for you in any of my businesses. And we'll never be partners. We'll never work on anything if you don't have that I am a sponge and I'm 34, or I am a sponge and I'm 64. That's just the game for me. How do I overcome self-doubt in business? This is actually really simple for me. I surround myself with about 4 or 5 people that have known me my entire life. They've seen me grow up. They know my family. They know the support system I kind of have behind me, and they respect me for what I'm trying to accomplish. Those 3, 4, 5 people are people that I respect, that I love, that support and respect me and what I ultimately am trying to accomplish. And we'll get into some of those details here in just a minute on all of those people, because I actually go through in some of these other questions and talk a little more in depth about who those people are for me. So, the one thing I wish I had done, I'm going to pull this question up. Thank you guys for all those hearts. I can't thank you enough. I want to break the Peripreneurs heart record today. And it's going to happen because of you guys. So, if I could travel back in time, when I started out, what would I do differently? Number one, thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie's been crushing it. Jamie got a Porsche hat because of a Snap giveaway I did the other day, by the way. So if you're not following us on Snapchat, you've got to go follow us there. In addition to Periscope, at Matt LaMarche. So if I could travel back in time and change one thing 18 months ago, right before, thank you, Ricky, right before I started my business. Number one is price. I would have gone up immediately, because what I did was I tried to price match a lot of people, or I tried to be a little bit higher than them. I should have gone in 10, 15, 20% higher than the market, because I'm that good. And I'm not bragging, I'm telling you, I'm that good. In other words, I have been able to produce a product that is not matched in this area. We live in Sandy Springs, Georgia. Any of you know anything about Sandy Springs? It's one of like the top 8 or top 10 zip codes for wealth in the country. It's not hard to make money cutting grass around this area, if you get what I mean. No one does it, but I do. And so the difference between the market at like $60, $70, $80 an hour and me, I wish I had started right there. The second thing is, I wish I would not have listened to the critics, the early critics. There were a lot of guys that were like, Matt, you're making good money. Good money. I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't happy. If you weren't happy, what is this all for? Why are we doing this, you know? So I had to just kind of get to a point where I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm 34 years old. I feel like half of my life is gone, especially my work, my family, my balance there was way off. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't satisfied. And that's when I said, you know what? We got to stop talking about it, and we got to take action. And that's exactly what I did 18 months ago. I started working my business part-time, and then jumped in a little over, right at a year now, full-time. And it has been the best decision I've ever made. And all my friends ask me, are you going back? Would you ever go back? Absolutely not. There is not a chance. Next, number 13. What is the most important, who is the most important useful contact in my phone book? That would, without a doubt, be my grandfather, Larry Toney. He worked with Sam Walton back, and those of you that know the history of Walmart, he was a consultant. He worked for Procter & Gamble. He became his own consulting business. After that, worked with 3 or 4 partners. They had huge companies. I mean, Walmart, right? Before they were Walmart. And he worked side by side with Sam Walton, and his business mind just blows me away. Every time we have lunch, a cup of coffee, doesn't matter. He is one of the most inspirational guys I know in terms of business. So in terms of me bouncing things off of him, communicating and figuring out what works and what doesn't work, and adjusting and pivoting, I mean, he has been by far the biggest influence business-wise on me and on my life. The 3 guys that I really, actually the 3 guys and girls that I look up to in business, Gary Vee, obviously, just a hustler, right? About 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I found Gary and just consumed. I was addicted, and I watched his hustle, and it made me appreciate every single minute of the day. Every second of the day is priceless. And if you don't see life that way, you are missing out, okay? I firmly, after living it for the last 2 years, time is our asset. Time is on our side. But if you are wasting time, and I'm not talking about all your time, I'm talking about the valuable time when you're awake, when you're present, you are wasting your time. You're wasting your life away. So get your time in order. Where are we? What's going on here? That was Gary Vee. Number 2, Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey. And the reason I like Dave Ramsey in business is because he gives great practical advice, and he gives great money advice. Not a lot of people agree with him. That's fine. It's not your personal, it is your personal finances. It is your personal deal. You got to do what's right for you and your family. But what changed for me was I used to live in debt. I used to have credit cards. I used to have car payments, and now I got none of it. And I was swinging that pendulum the other way completely. So the last person that I look up to is really close to me, and that's my mother. She just graduated this past December with her doctorate in adult education. And she was a stay-at-home mother when we were growing up, and then she went back to work. It's awesome, right, Ricky? I mean, how inspiring. And so she worked when we were kids. She was a stay-at-home mom, and then when all of us were off at school, she went back to work and started working on her master's, and then obviously now her doctorate. She worked in continuing education, and like I said, this past December just graduated. She has taught me more than anything that you have got to continue to grow. You've got to continue to educate. If you do not, 100%, she is a fantastic role model for that. Fantastic. If you don't continue to expand your horizons and expand your belief and your education and what you think is possible, game over. Game over. 3 books that budding entrepreneurs should read immediately, like this week, go read these 3 books. The 4-Hour Workweek, The Lean Startup, and The Psychology of Winning. The Psychology of Winning, I read probably 14 or 15 years ago, changed my mind. I love Think and Grow Rich, but my 3, and Psychology of Winning, The Lean Startup, and The 4-Hour Workweek. Yes, all budding entrepreneurs should be reading those. How do I maintain a healthy personal life with a dedicated business life? This is actually a lot more simple than I thought it was going to be. When I first read that question, I was like, oh gosh, there's so many ways we could go with this, right? Balance. That's it. Balance is my word of the year, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to balance social media. I'm trying to balance getting myself out there, exposing myself in Periscope and Snapchat, and documenting this whole journey. But I'm also trying to balance 2 young kids and a wife and an extended family that both live here in Atlanta. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot to do, and there's a lot to be done. There's a lot of people to meet with, and investors and other potential business partners. I mean, just to try and fit it all in one day is almost impossible sometimes. And that doesn't even include my work with our city, and I'm the president of our homeowners association. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And I appreciate that, Ricky. It is a constant struggle for me. I'm just going to be real with you guys. Last year, I didn't do this. I spent so much time here trying to be everything to everyone. And what I learned is that you can't. And number 2 is it's pointless. It's pointless. If you build a great business but you lose your family, you've built a terrible business. That's what you've done. If you think on paper that you've built a great business but you lose your wife, or you lose your kids, or you lose your house, I mean, whatever, right? You have lost. You have not built a great business if you lose your family. And I think I heard John Acuff first say that several months back, but something to that effect. It is so true. And so many people lose sight of that. Well, I got to be the best entrepreneur. You can do that and build a great family life, but you have to put balance to it. Social media, I'm really trying to balance, because that is just hard for me. I have a very addictive personality, as most of you could probably tell by now. But anyway, that's it. So they say to one of the successes in business is to have a long-term love life. So this one is also a huge one for me, because I've been married for 10 years now. My wife and I got married when I was about 25 years old. This will be our 10th wedding anniversary, and we're doing a bunch of trips and stuff to celebrate and kind of do it big, you know. And so she has been my rock and my support. I'm sorry, I will, Ricky. It is said that having a long-term love life is... Would you agree? I agree 100%. If you do not have that rock behind you, that support system, it's going to be really difficult. And if you're a young entrepreneur, you're not married yet, you're single, you're out hustling, what I would encourage you to do is find someone that complements you. I would encourage you to find someone that's basically the opposite of you, but that you agree on the core things, because the core things are really all that matter at the end of the day. You're going to have disagreements, you're going to have arguments. That is just marriage. But in other words, you have to find someone that complements you, that fills in your gaps, and you for them, vice versa, because they may be the business mind, they may be the entrepreneur, they may be the small business person that needs you behind them. So don't ever doubt the power of a phenomenal partner. And I would not have it any other way with my wife. I love her so much, and she is an unbelievable supporter of me and my business and our family and all that this means to us. So, anyway, I also bounce ideas off of her, by the way. I'm like, you don't know a whole lot about lawn care and landscape. What do you think about this? And no, don't do that. Go this way. And it also gives me the female perspective too. It's kind of nice to have that sounding board, if you will. So, what are my favorite ways to unwind? So, a lot of you guys know, if you've been following me on Periscope, or nothing wrong with being single at all, nothing. But for me, I could not do this business without her, 100%. The 2 ways I unwind, the first is we go to the beach about once a year, typically for a week. Now with kids, it's a lot more challenging, but I try to find 3-4 hours during that week where I just go and read a book for several hours at a time, read a book or several books, and just try and burn right through them, because to me, that's just my zen. The second place, and this is completely in polar opposite, I have, again, for you that have been following me on Periscope or on Snapchat for a while, M. LaMarche, I have an 86 911 Porsche. Not like this one. Better than that one. No, I'm kidding. No, I have a classic air-cooled Porsche, and I take it to the track. I take it to events, and that is the only other place that I can just be me and totally zen out. So, this next one was kind of tough for me. Number 19. And we're right at 21 minutes. Urgh! What selfless thing do you currently do? This is going to sound really, really, really strange, but I like to share on social media what's going on in my business, what's working and what's not working, my success and my just upside down days that don't make any sense, and days that you just wish you could start over and start fresh. I like to share those successes and those failures, the really, really good days and the really, really bad days, because that is what entrepreneur is all about. Thank you, Ricky. I really appreciate you letting me do that. Not just to hype this, but also to let people know that there are good, honest, hardworking people out there that are really, really, really trying to work on themselves, on their business, and that are hustling, and in addition, are trying to help other people. So that's kind of my selfless thing, is that I put myself out here. I ask for you to judge me. I ask for people to be critical, because it makes me better. It makes me stronger. And if you want my opinion, I'll give it to you. And it may not be what you want to hear, but I think I've had a lot of success for someone my age, but I've also had a lot more failures. And I would much rather, one of my good friends, Eric Triplett, talks about shortening the learning curve, right? And he's older than I am, but he's exactly right. He's exactly right. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, is shorten it for you. I try to get value into you as quickly as possible, because I know our attention span these days are totally blown. So, last 2 questions. If I had to line my business with a charity, or who would I choose and why? One of 2 things. Either inner city youth. I would love to develop the next generation of young hustlers and entrepreneurs. And I think in the inner city that can be done really, really, really effectively at scale, by the way. And then the second would be young entrepreneurs, to mentor, to help, to invest, to give of my time, kind of like I do here, but in a much more personal venue. So the last question, 23 minutes. Gonna get back to it. We're gonna get back to that game. The Falcons are winning, by the way. It's out of control over there. It's out of control. We haven't been in the Super Bowl ever, I don't think. My final message to all of you watching. You don't want to know, man. This hair is a disaster under here. And I do have hair, by the way. I'm not balding yet. My final message to the Peripreneurs worldwide audience, is this. And I really want you guys to hear this, because I take this every single day. People are watching you. People are watching you in the office. People are watching you in that yard you're cutting. People are watching you with that wall you're building. People are watching you in that car you're driving. People are watching you at that football game that you're going to. They're watching you on your social media, and they're judging you. And they're making their own assumptions about what's going on, right? One thing I think that we've kind of lost sight of in this society is integrity. And when I'm on someone's property and we're doing work on their property, they've entrusted us to one of their largest investments ever. And they're not always home. And it's sometimes easy to cut that corner, to shortcut that. Maybe not do that as much. Maybe do a little over here. Maybe not do as, you know what I mean? People are watching. Neighbors are watching. Your business partners are watching. Your colleagues are watching. The people underneath you and above you are watching you every single day. What message are you sending to them? And have you lost sight of integrity? Integrity, for those of you that don't know, is doing the right thing even when it's not easy, fun, convenient. It's true. So, that's it. Ricky, 25 minutes. Please tell me that's a record. Please tell me that's a record. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sometimes the right thing is the right thing. And it is. It's the hardest. Sometimes it is the hardest. Awesome. That is awesome to hear. I hope you guys are continuing to blow these hearts up. If you'll do me one last favor before we hop off of there, swipe to the, I think it's this way maybe. Share it with your Twitter followers. Share it with your Periscope followers. Share with everyone that you connect with. Not just on here, but on Twitter, on Facebook. You can find us on all of those. People can find me on social, mostly through M. LaMarche. M-L-A-M-A-R-S-H. Or Matt, like you see there. Thank you, Kim. You've been my trusty assistant all week. Matt, M-A-T-T, LaMarche. There are several other Matt LaMarches out there. None of them are as ugly as this. You'll find me. Kim, thank you guys again so much for this week. It's meant the world to me to be able to do a Periscope every day, basically leading up to this thing, and Instagram Live, and just all the interaction's been fantastic. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to find us on Facebook, at Matt LaMarche, I don't have any followers. I don't have any likes there. I just, before this, I'm being as real as it gets here, I just created a Matt LaMarche page. I don't spend hardly any time on Facebook, right? But if you want to go there, you can follow us there. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Diversified. I really, really appreciate that, Kim. Grinches, welcome, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see how many new Facebook followers we can get on the Matt LaMarche fan page. I literally just did it. You're going to see I just updated the picture. Let's go first. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. I hope this is motivational for all of you in the early morning of Monday. I hope you guys found some motivation here. If you ever want some daily motivation, you'll follow me on Snapchat, M. LaMarche, M-L-A-M-A-R-S-H. I am super, super, super active on there, and I'm really active on here. Normally we do about a weekly sales thing. Thank you, Ricky. I really appreciate that. Normally we do like a weekly sales thing. I've been doing it on every Tuesday night. We've been talking about how to add value, how to charge more, how to get the right customers, how to get rid of the wrong customers, how to build your business, how to biz dev like a madman. So if you guys want to follow along on that, I think I'm in this. Let me check on here. I think I'm in this broadcast right now as myself. Let me just double check and see. Let me turn the volume down. I am. All right. So this is probably the first time this has been done. How about that? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. If you have any other questions, we'll do them in like the next 2 minutes. That'll be 30 minutes. We'll get you guys on your way. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really, really, really do. I'm going to give some quick shout outs here. Holy smokes, 347 people. Are you kidding me? PJ, JC, what's up, man? How's it going? Paul. All right. Sandy, James, Carlos, Rivers Lawn Care and Landscaping. Thank you, guys. Ali K, welcome. Thank you. I do. For all of you that don't know, I'm a madman. I'm a madman on Snapchat. No, thank you guys again. Ricky, thank you for the opportunity. For all of you that are curious about how did this whole thing transpire, I caught this broadcast, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I sent him a message and I said, hey, how do I get on that show? I think I'd be interested in doing it. And he goes, you have a business? Yep. Sometimes you just have to ask. That's the best sales advice I could ever give anyone in this room. Sometimes you just have to ask. That's how I got in front of you. Atlanta, baby. Rise up, Falcons. That's right. I backed myself. If you don't ask, you don't know. And the answer's always no. The answer's always no. Fantastic. Ricky, I appreciate it. Thank you again for the opportunity. That's 4:30. I'm going to let you guys get back to that football game, get back to your families. Thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate it. Share some more hearts. Share it out to your network. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys again. I really appreciate it. What cars are they? I love your snaps. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. That's a Porsche. That's a Porsche. That's a Porsche. That's a Porsche. I'm kind of a Porsche nut. Can you tell? Yeah, we're gonna break the record. Thank you guys again so much. I'm gonna let you get back to your day. Have a wonderful one, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.